Hey everybody, welcome to JTV Extra. I'm Sandra Younger. I am the inventor of a cord knotting and design tool called the Knotty-Do-It-All. And that is, I love any kind of jewelry made with stringing material. Every time I see anything, even ever since I was like a kid, anything made with either like leather, cotton, like silk, for some reason, I just really gravitated towards it. But actually, it was like one of the harder things for me to pick up because if you do just like wire wrapped like the individual beads just to make the chain, that's what I started off with. But I really like the look of braiding, knotting, and that kind of jewelry. So when I started my journey, it was really difficult because every different kind of string material, like some things are good for other things. So what I've done like over the years, I've developed this tool that just makes everything that you make with any kind of stringing material so much easier. And today's project is going to be the twist and tie adventure bracelet. And this one's really cool because I came up with a way to make these barrel knots. They're used a lot in I think they're like rosaries that you see from South America that have those really cool like barrel knots. As a matter of fact, now that I'm thinking about it, this bracelet can be made that way even without the beads, because I've seen those real pretty red ones. I mean, they're just like, they're just like really cool. If you want to like ask me any question, I promise I will try, because while I'm doing the show, sometimes I miss some of the questions. But if I miss your question, you could email us, and you could shop the products on the right-hand side of your screen. You can get more in-depth detail. And I do want to let everybody know that I am transitioning over to a new website. So there is a possibility. I talked to the company that will be hosting my website, and they said that during the transition, there might be that possibly like maybe 1 or 2 days where there is like zero website. So don't think that we went away or I've canceled my website or anything like that. I'm just transitioning over, and I think you guys are going to love it. I've been working on it for like months now, and it's finally almost finished. So I just want you to know that. So if you go to Naughty Lessons or, even like the JTV Extra page and you don't find anything there, that's because the site is transitioning over. Anyway, let's see what we have on today's products. And we really do have a pretty big customer show today, so that's going to be a lot of fun. So here are the products on today's show. All right, let's see what products we have today. The first item, we have these antique silver toned round 7.5 millimeter large hole spacer beads, and you get 500 of these. And the holes are, what did it say? I can tell you right now, they're about 2.5 millimeters because they fit through the leather. The leather is 2 millimeters. I mean, not the leather, the wax cord that I'll show in just a second, that is 2 millimeters thick. And since it fits on here, I'm going to say they're about 2.5 millimeters. And it looked really cute. It was just something different. And then the next item we have are these carnelian, the 6, the 8, and the 10 millimeter round large hole bead set. Okay, the smaller strand the hole size is 2 millimeters, and the 8 and the 10, those have 2.5 millimeter holes, and those are the two strands on this show that fit on the cord that we're going to be using for today's project. And they're really pretty. I mean, they've got a nice translucence to them. So I think you'll really like these. There are a lot of uses. You could use these for like Shambhala style bracelets. Today, we're going to do the barrel knot bracelet, but they are very beautiful beads, not faceted. I think I mentioned that they're smooth, beautiful. And it's a set of 3, and they are 8-inch strands. And then, oh, this one, ooh, these are so pretty. Unakite, Ukite. I don't think I'm saying that right, guys. I don't know, Mookaite, M carnelian, 8.5 millimeter bead strands with their large hole, and you get 3. This is a set of 3. These are really pretty as well. Check them out. So I don't know what the difference is between the carnelian on the other set and then this one. I think it's the size of the strand, because these are longer and beautiful. Very versatile, pretty beads. And then the next set that we have are this is the red and black mixed ornamental stone bead strands with large holes, and you get it says here set of 2. Oh, well, it looks like 3 to me. Is it? I think it's 3. 3 came in my set, so I'm gonna say that it's 3. But okay, the darker ones, it is a set of 2, and then the cube ones, you get 1 strand of those. So it is 3 strands altogether. And these are actually on, they're 21% off. So today they're only $29.99 for the whole set of 3. And you got to have large hole beads in your stash. You got to have them. Ooh, and the next product, of course, is my big favorite, the Knotty-Do-It-All. And if you have never heard of this, it is a cord knotting and design tool that I developed because I love jewelry made with stringing material. I mean, I like it like over chain, over wire wrap beads, like any day. And so when I first started, it just wasn't fun. It was a struggle because there were so many things I wanted to do. And then, for everything you want to do, you got to buy, all these different tools. And I thought, you know what, there's got to be just one tool that does it all. And this is it. And we have our large board, and we have, I'll show you them in a second. We have our smaller version. They're both like awesome. The larger board, it's about 19.5 inches wide and 8 inches deep. So these are like heavy duty, like professional grade tools. It helps you get the work done faster, easier. And there are so many lessons I teach. On my website, I think I counted over 100 different lessons, last I counted. You get the hardware set. And the neat thing about the hardware, you can reconfigure it in so many different ways. Like if we're doing like a half hitch or the multi-strand here, you could do like moose knots. I mean, braiding. I teach like all the, like anything you could possibly do with stringing material. I have it. I have a lesson somewhere on my website. And if there is ever anything that you'd like to see, just email me and I'll see what I can do about it. But the set comes with a JTBs, gets the JTB sets have the instructional DVD and the ebook. And also there are tons of JTB extra lessons on my website that you can reference, just tons and tons of instruction. And the next item, okay, this is really cool. This is, you get a set of 7. It's a multi-color wax cord, and for a total of 70 meters. So that means that each strand comes with, each spool has 10 meters of cord. And look at that, 7 different colors. Look at the pink, the brown, the white, the gray. I just love this set. It is convenient because the spools aren't like huge. So, and this is only $29.99, and it is 19% off today. So I think I got everything. Let's check it out. The carnelian, the spacers, the board. That's everything, guys. That is everything that is on today's show. I think that maybe when, I launch my new website, maybe for you guys, exclusive, I'll have to do like a 101 because the layout is, it's different from anything I've ever seen on any other website, because I have the videos, because the way they used to be on the way they currently are on my old website, they're just like gigantic, and they're just like in this big row, and you have to like scroll through like all of them. And I just always thought it was kind of weird. I always kind of wanted to put them in like more compartmentalized. So I was able to do that. And one of the cool features that I went back and did with like all the JTV shows, the past shows, you're gonna love this. I put chapter markers in there. So if you want to like go straight to the like the customer show chapter marker, if you want to get straight into the lesson chapter marker. So at the beginning of the show, I talk about, the different products and stuff. Isn't that cool? So that way, like let's say you're in a hurry, you don't know exactly where the lesson begins, you could just click on the chapter marker and it'll take you right there. And plus the videos have some really awesome features, subtitles. You can like get like a text view of like what I'm saying. Like, what do they call that? It's got like the subtitles in there, but then you could also get like a running, like, I don't know, you could see like paragraphs of like everything that I'm saying. So, it's I'm hoping to get this done. It's driving me crazy because I keep thinking, oh, I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to do it tomorrow. But then I find out there's like all these things that you need, you know, like privacy things. And like, it's just like, I think I talked about websites last week. How many of you have ever tried to put one together? And I noticed Tess Barr's in the house. I want to say hi to Tess. One of these days, maybe I could get her permission to play a snippet of one of her songs because she has got a very beautiful voice. But anyway, aside from that, Kim, Susan, Rhonda, I want to say like hello to everybody. Thank you so much for joining the show. And we are going to get onto the customer show today because I think it's very interesting and it's got some really cool stuff. So here it is. Okay, first we have Rhonda, Colorado. I don't know how to say that. Is it Hubei or Hubei? I don't know, but look at this necklace. It's so pretty. I love like how like fresh and wispy and it's just like so pretty. And I like the macrame slide knot on the end. Like check that out. And look, it's got the 3 little hands in there. Very cute with the chain. Let's see, you've got it on a ring. And then you've got the macrame binding knot in front. Very, very pretty. I love this necklace. It's so, I bet it looks so pretty on. Oh, and next we have Ann, Arizona. This one, guys, check it out. This one was definitely taken to the next level. I wouldn't never have thought of this, but it's just like totally over the top. I like the woven, the deer suede lace that's woven in the chain. That is such a good idea. I've seen that before, but I've never, I've actually never tried that. But it has a real Southwest look. I love it. Look at it. It's just so pretty. And here's a close-up. Oh my God, this must have taken a long time to make. I can't even imagine how long it took to make this. Or did the chain come that way? I don't know. Or did you weave it? But either way, it's really, really, really cool. And next we have Rhonda, Colorado. This is a pink sapphire, mystic coated sapphire and rice pearls. Adjustable slide bracelet. You know, I have a bracelet that's similar in design. Well, it's a crochet bracelet, so it reminded me a lot of that. It's really cute. I like the little fluffers on the end, macrame slide knot, A+. And let's see, next we have Laura Lee, Florida. This necklace I think is so cool because it's very, I don't know, contemporary. You know, it just looks like something that should have been at the Met Gala, you know, last night. Someone should have been wearing this because it just looks so cool. I think we have another picture. Oh yeah, look, this is the necklace model. Ooh, that's got some cool like vibe going. Got all the moose knots and the rings. Ooh, very, very cool. And then next we have Sarah, North Carolina. Oh my goodness, guys, check this out. That is just so pretty. Look at the front of it with the wire wrap beads. I cannot wire wrap. I mean, I can only make hoops and that's it, but this is really, really cool. I made something similar to that once, I think. It was like an earring, but honestly, I have no idea how I did it. It was one of those like one-shot wonder things, but I like the macrame beads on the outside. I just like the whole, you know, entire design of this. Very, very pretty. And then next we have Ann, Arizona. Okay, this one's got some knots going on. So this is the one with the moose. I think did I do this last one? I don't know. I think I did. And it's got the like all the knots in between. Oh yeah, it was that tiered one that I did a couple of weeks back. And I like the macrame binding knot on the end and how it matches with the pendant. Very nice. Just and then the slide knot matches with the accrue that's like in the pendant. Very nice combination. Just kind of pulls it together very nicely. And let's see, next we have, oh, here's a close-up. I had to show you guys the close-up of, you know, how cool the end part looked with the macrame binding knot. Looks very, very nice. And next we have, this is a really cool bracelet. This is a cowrie shell, and Laura Lee put these little tiny beads in there. I want to try to do a project like this in the future because I think, to me, it looks like a lot of fun. We have a couple of like pearl issues that Laura Lee and I are going to try to work out because she had used some larger pearls in one of them, and she said they kind of popped out, but I think we can find a solution to the problem. And then here is a necklace, and we have a little video snippet here of Vivian modeling this necklace. So very nice, very cute. Thank you, Vivian. We love it. Supermodel. And she's so professional, guys. Didn't you notice that? So professional. And next we have Anne, Arizona. Look at the bail work on this. I noticed it. Okay, it's that, I don't know why I call it the before and after. I think it's just the action that your hands make, but this is done, I can tell, I think, with the 2 cords. And I never thought, and I think that's a donut pendant with that really cool, like, I don't know what it's called, the leather work. But that looks so pretty. I really like it. And then it's got like the knots or something. Oh, no, the whole thing is the before and after. Did you use did you use 2 different colors, Anne? On the necklace part, it looks like red and black. I'm not sure, but really pretty. I gotta try this. That's next on my list of things to try. And then next, Sarah, North Carolina. Ooh. Okay, okay, I'm convinced it because I saw this design earlier. I think it is a project I did a couple of weeks ago. Beautiful yellow. You got the little rose there, the little fluffers on the end, macrame slide knot. And did you have any trouble with this one? I mean, because I know that sometimes getting the tiers just right, depending on how long you want it, can be a little bit tricky, but this one looks perfect. It looks perfect. Ooh, this one's so pretty, guys. Look at this. This is Laura Lee, Florida. It's so, like, I don't know, Asian looking, like it reminds me of like China or Japan, but because they use a lot of red and black, and it's got that little sprig of silver in there, very nice. It's got the button where the loop gets bigger because you're using a bigger button, and you can make it smaller. Very, very nice. And I think that's I don't know, cinnabar. I don't think so. It's something, but it's pretty. And ooh, look at this. Ah, Rhonda, Colorado, smoky quartz necklace. That is so cute, guys. It's got the bow. My dad would love, well, I don't think he'd wear that, but he really liked boats. It's got the gold with the smoky quartz, the macrame binding knot. Ooh, and look at the end. So pretty. Is that what stringing material did you use for this, Rhonda? I was really curious because it could be what, cotton cord? I'm not sure, but it looks I love it. So summery. And next we have Sarah, North Carolina. This bracelet, I did a project like this, but I think Sarah's idea, I like it better because she did the wire wrap beads on the outside part of the macrame. When I did it, I think I macrameed the wire wrap beads into the macrame, but actually I like this better because it gives the beads more movement when you're move your hand around. Because I noticed that the one I made was a little bit the beads were a little bit stiff, but this is the answer, the solution to the problem. Thank you, Sarah. And next we have Rhonda. Oh, we did this one already, but hey, we're gonna do it again. Rhonda, we love your pink sapphire mystic coated and rice pearl bracelet. I guess this is a bigger version of it. And really cute. So we must really like your bracelet today. Beautiful. And next, Sarah, North Carolina. Okay, this is the tiered one with the knots in. Beautiful. You nailed it. Can't say anything other than the fact that it came out perfect. And that's those foil hearts. I don't know what those are called, but there's a name for those. Did you make it? I always have to ask because every time I see something really cool and unusual, I always wonder like if you guys made these things. Very pretty. And next, Laura Lee, Florida. Okay, this one is interesting because, okay, here's version 1. You can wear it this way. Then you can wear it like with the I guess those are the Herkimer diamonds like off to the side for a different look, or you can wear it as a bracelet. Look at that. So cool. Isn't that awesome, guys? Oh, I love anything that you can like wear as a bracelet and a necklace. Beautiful. And then number 23. Okay, Laura Lee, Florida. Okay, these are some of the other bracelets that she made. I think the pearl one up there, we're gonna work I don't know. It was I don't where was it those pearls, Laura Lee, that popped out? I think it was another pearl. But here are like three different versions, and I think they're beautiful. They're so perfect for summer. And then we have Sarah, North Carolina. Okay, this looks cool. I like the way you did the wire wrap beads. You know, the I really liked that when I use those big beads like on top like that, it covered up the wire wrap part. Wasn't that really interesting? I mean, I was like, I don't know, I was just like fascinated by the fact that it's wire wrap, but you can't see the top part of it. So really nice. I like, ooh, look at the ends. Ooh, you did wire wrap beads on the ends too with the binding knots. Woo, I love it. And okay, guys, last, this necklace, Laura Lee. I think it's beautiful, but she said that she did not like it and she ended up taking it apart and using the parts for something else. But what do you guys think? I think it's really, really pretty. I mean, it looks like something out of one of those really expensive catalogs, if you guys know what I'm talking about, you know, where everything is like $300 or $400. I think it's beautiful. If I made something like this, I would be very proud of it. So anyway, guys, that is it for today. We had a big show. I want to thank everyone for everything they send in. And if you have any thing you'd like to send to me, email it to me at theknotty-do-it-all@gmail.com. Wow, wasn't that last necklace that Laura Lee made? I just thought it was really pretty. If I made something like that, I would have a really hard time like taking it apart. I was looking at a couple of the comments here, and Ella, she meant to say necklace, but it came out as neck essay, which, you know, you could wear. It could be a neck essay because it could be necklace that tells a story. But then she tried to correct it, and then it came out to neck mess. I've been known to wear a lot of necklaces that end up looking like a neck mess. So every time you try to autocorrect it, something funnier would pop up. So I just thought I'd share that with you guys. But you probably saw that in the comments. So anyway, we are gonna do. Oh, you know what? Don't forget, if you have what month is it? May? God, I can't believe it's already like May 8th. Check your Brilliant Cash if it's your birthday, or maybe you just go check your JTV account, and if you have the Brilliant Cash there, it'll just like say, oh, you have, you know, $40 or $20 in Brilliant Cash. So these are the different ways you can like get your Brilliant Cash. After a year, if you haven't bought anything, you get $30. That's check it out. You could use it on any of the items that are on today's show. Okay, I don't have a cheat sheet for this because I think it's pretty like straightforward and easy. You know, because I was gonna like do the whole thing, and I'm like, I'm not gonna like do all that just to take a picture of this, because I think the length of the cord is probably the most important part, because when you're making something and you want to cut it, how much? ¿Cuánto? So I made these guys, and you know, I was sitting there being real careful. I said, I'm gonna like calculate everything. And then the first one I made, it ended up using 36 inches of cord. So then I made the second one, and 36 inches was about an inch too short. So my final answer is going to be that if you are making this bracelet for a 6-incher like this one, just go with the 40, because that'll give you leverage. And if you need to make it a little bit longer, you can. Then when I was making this, because I don't know why, maybe because, I make so much jewelry, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to, go off the track a bit and just see, some interesting things like how much cord does a specific knot need like, yeah, specific cord with a specific knot. So I did something interesting and fun, and I thought I would share it with you. So that way, I think it would help you if you're ever trying to, like, you know, get a rough idea of how much cord something is going to take. So what I did, because these I used mostly the triple like barrel knots. So what I did was, and I think it's just really cool. I mean, maybe, you know, I thought to myself, girl, you're just overthinking it. But you know what? I don't think so. I think it's very helpful and useful information. So what I do, if I'm using a new kind of stringing material, which this was new to me, and plus it's a squishy cord, because usually this style, I make it with leather, and leather is very stiff. So when you make the knot, it's going to stay like consistent. But since this one's squishy, it's just a little bit different. But what I do, it was actually kind of fun. So I'm going to make my coil knot. So it's a 3, 1, 2, 3. And this cord kind of does fluff out a lot. So I'll tell you how to work with that in a second, because my usual tricks didn't work. Okay, so there I've got the 3. I'm going to pull this out. This is like the mousse, but when you pull that string out, it becomes the coil or the barrel. I'm going to get nice and snug, tight. Okay, then what I did, because I just thought it would be interesting, let's get these out of the way. I just cut this. I mean, and the only reason I'm doing this is because I wanted to know exactly how much stringing material is in that knot. How much? So we're going to find out. And this is with the 2 millimeter. Let's get this apart. And ta-ta. That is the amount of stringing material that's in there, and let's measure it. So that is, whoa, check it out, 2.5 inches. Imagine that. So when you're planning a bracelet like this, you know, especially if you're making it longer or if you're doing the necklace version, so for every knot or bead and knot that you're going to add, you will need 2.5 inches of cord. Isn't that like a really like cool way to figure it out? Because if you've ever wondered, like, you know, like how much? Well, that is like how much. Then you would do the same thing if you are making like a double barrel, like because on this, what bracelet was it? Oh, this one was more of an experimental piece. I did triples here, but then over here, because I thought the triple was like too big for these spacers. So what I did here, I did the double, and I think I like that better. But you know, it just depends on what you. Oh, Michael says, great idea for determining the. I know, right? I know it's Tess Barr's favorite knot. I mean, she's like incredibly good at this. So let's get started. And it's actually, I really like this project only because I remember back in the day when I used to struggle so bad with this, but not anymore. So the amount of cord that you will need is 40 inches. So let's get our 40 inches. I'm going to measure over here. Let's see, 20, 40. And today I'm using the small board because this is a great small board. Oh, okay. Okay, tip time. Okay. This cord is fluffy. It fluffs. And this is one project where you don't like put all the beads on and then work. This one, you have to like do a knot, then put the bead on, then the knot. It's no easy like tricks that way. So since this cord fluffs out on the ends, you need to find any way to like, probably in a case like this, you could maybe put some kind of like, I know that Pat mentioned some kind of, what is it called? I was going to say hemlock, but I don't know, something that stops like fraying. But one thing that you could do, which I did, and it kind of sort of worked. I did the heat hardening thing that I usually do. And what that is, you know, you put like, you hold your cord and then you run a lighter. But the thing with this cord is just unusually thicker than what I'm used to. So you're gonna have to like roll it and just kind of like squish it a bit. And it's just gonna help keep the cords from just like poofing out. So I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna take a single edge blade. And if you do use these guys, please be very, very careful because they are sharp. So if you have small children, pets, or, you know, like susceptible, I don't know, sometimes they kind of go crazy and I cut myself, but I'm getting better at being careful. So see how nice it made the end here. It's not fluffing out, and that is pretty important. And also the bead set that's on the show, the carnelian, the 3 set, the 8 and the 10 millimeter beads are the ones that have the 2.5 millimeter hole, because this one has a 2 millimeter, and unfortunately, if the hole is 2 millimeter and the cord is 2 millimeter, it will not fit because they're both literally like the same size. So, you know, I was happy to find that, you know, these guys had a bigger hole. So I've got my 40 inches here. And then what you want to do is line up the ends. And we are, for some reason, I just like start by making like a moose knot like I did earlier. And then I start working like from the middle out. So let me, I think I'm going to do the triple. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and then hold out and feed this through just like that. See that? And so now whichever end you need to pull, I mean, if you pull this one and nothing happens, then do this one here. Because what this will essentially do is get your barrel knot right in the middle. And so now we're going to start. So I'm going to find the side that's the longest, and I'm going to start on that side. So let's get a bead. Let's get this on. And so what I do is I clip it like that. And if you need extra stability, which sometimes you'll need, it depends on like how, like, I tend to be heavy-handed when I do this. So, you know, see, I've got a clip like right up to the bead, just like as snug up to the bead as I can get it. So I'm going to put that in there. And then with with this post, I'm holding it right here, and I'm going to like, I'm kind of sort of like wrapping over the bead because you want to get it. It helps when you are making the bracelet, because you're going to have to twist this knot. So this is one of those knots where when you take it off, just like this, you want to keep, you know, these guys aligned, and just keep your eye on them, and just, you know, with you're pulling this, see that, woo, and I squeeze, and I kind of twist it, because if you pull it like all at once, like this side here, you run the risk of not getting the knot as close to the bead as possible. And sometimes these what are they called? I guess loops. They'll start to like overlap on each other. So this one is good. So that one's perfect. And then I'm going to check size here again, because I noticed that one was, let's go on this side. So then you put your next bead on. And what I do is I flip-flop sides, because if you start making if you just start going this way, then of course you're going to have a lot of cord left over here. So that's how I do it. I just go from one side to the next. So let me see if you have any questions. The middle out. Oh, you know what? Yeah. Girl, Tess, because I know some of the ones that you make are really long, and I can't even imagine, because just think about this, you're working with half the cord. If you're making something as big as Tess bars, you're wrapping, and the cord must be going like this, because it's a lot of, it is, because I've made these really long ones, and the amount of cord, oh my goodness, it is insane. So yeah, so that, And a lot of techniques are that way. If you start in the middle, like let's say, let's see what else is good that way. Macrame. Okay, so let me see how that one almost wanted to pop out. So I'm just kind of like tapping them in and pulling. Okay. And this, I mean, I think I've done maybe something similar, but with leather. See, now I'm switching sides. I'm going to flip it over and do the next one. And one cool thing about this bracelet, or, you know, if you want to make it a necklace, I mean, you could put like a little cluster of 3. I mean, you could do the whole like thing. I'm just going to keep going until I see that my time is like running out, because I want to give you a tip on how to do the end part like this. So if you want to add like a wire wrap, the steps are different than if you just add a straight you know, cluster of little knots like this, because on this one you need some I don't know, a couple of like skills, some ninja skills, but I'm going to show them to you. It's really fun. Okay, let me get that one. And this knot, when I first tried it years ago, let's see, that helps. The twist and then pull. It was like almost impossible. And you guys have seen those really cool religious bracelets, and I don't know, I saw in the comments that I don't know, I saw in the newspaper that the smoke was black, and then someone says that a new pope has been chosen. I have to check that out. So, you know, those they make those really cool like rosary bracelets. Have any of you guys ever made those rosary bracelets that just have the knots? Let's see. Sandra's okay. Oh, well, good. You know, Tess, can you hear me? I would like to get permission from you. You need to, like, I don't know if you need to send me like something, but I would love to play like a snippet of one of your songs on my show, because your voice is so beautiful. I think everyone would love it. To be like, oh, we have such a talented woman in the house. Do any of you? I know Tess sings. I don't sing. Do any of you guys like sing? Linda, do you? Susanna, Gina, any singers in the house? Deborah? Oh, I'm curious, because I love a good singer. Every time I go on, you know, Instagram or, you know, online, I always look for, I don't know, anyone that can sing. Oh, so then when this gets too short, you just kind of just move it over and scoot this and just keep going. And there's really no set number of beads for I just keep going until it fits around my wrist. So let's squeeze. Let's see what we're 30 minutes. Ooh, okay, we got 20 minutes. 20 fingers crossed. Okay, so now I'm going to switch sides again. I think I'm doing good on time. I think I'm going to actually have time to like finish the whole bracelet. Ooh. And this one looks really, it's so popular with the pearls. And I've seen a couple of you like send like stuff in that has the pearls with the barrel knots. And I also with these, you know, I thought, why not? So that is what I made this one with. Isn't that cool? Okay, let's see how I'm doing here. So this is about 6, and let's see what we have. Uh-oh. Yeah, when you if you get to where, okay, this is about 7 inches. since I'm going to be doing this barrel knot right here, I am not going to put any more beads on this side. No way, because it needs to be at least 6 inches for what I'm going to show you next. I think on this side, you know, I don't know. It's always like a good idea just for insurance to add like 4 or 5 inches to anything that you make. Okay, so here's this one, and let me tighten it. Okay, let's see how this is coming. Okay, so for my wrist, this works. For every like inch longer that you need to make it, remember you're gonna have to add well, it all depends on the beads. You know, that's a tough one, because if it's an odd number, then it's gonna be a little bit different. But I think for every like bead that you're gonna add, just do that 2.5 inches on each side, like, so that would be 5 inches. So for every, like, if you're making a 6 inch, it'll be 40. If you're making a 7 inch, it'll probably go 45 or 46, just for that extra insurance. So now this is the tricky part. It's not that tricky. Okay, so we're gonna put a wire wrap bead in there, and 2 inches on the ends. It's almost like, you know, like it's 3 inches too long. Yes. Is 2 inches too short? No. 1.5 maybe. So 2 inches seems to be the sweet spot for like if you're making jewelry to sell. It seems like that is the size or the number that just fits the most amount of wrist. I mean, if you're making something like, I had a gentleman at one of my shows, his wrist size was 10 inches, so it still wouldn't have fit no matter what I did. So I had to like custom make it. But that tends to be like the sweet spot. So to get the 2 inches, let's see, let me see if it works, because, you know, when I practiced, it worked, and then maybe since I'm trying to show you how cool it is, might not work. So what you want to do is go over to 1.75 inches. See that on the right there, and that's where you're going to like want to fold it and put your wire wrap bead right in there. And usually I would like clip the bend into, I don't know how to explain it. Okay, see the fold? I would put it like right in the middle of the clip, just like this. But since it's got this ring in there, we need to like offset it a little bit. So it's gonna look like this. But believe it or not, that little piece of string in there, boom, it really adds to the length. So that's how come we needed to go 1.75, because if we did the 2 inches, did the knot, it would be over 2 inches. So let's see if it works. Okay, so I'm gonna get this, and I'm gonna do just a double. See, only because I don't want it to be like very like clunky-ish. So, okay, so I'm gonna just snug that up, kind of like as far up to the peg as I could get it. Boom, boom, boom. And then I'm gonna tighten this. And tighten. Okay, so let's see, did it get to the 2 inches? Whoa, that didn't work. Oh, did I do something wrong? You know, maybe I didn't tighten it enough. I did this like over and over yesterday. Maybe when I do the other side, maybe I did something wrong. Let's tighten that. Whoops. Ugh. Okay. Okay, there. See, 2 inches. See that? That's exactly what you want. And so let's do the other side. Let's get the ring. Let's get the wire wrap bead on there. And then when I do the coil knot, I think I've got, oh yeah, I'm doing good on time. I think I'm going to get to finish the project. Okay, so right there, Okay, 1 point. Yeah, it's really important that you just keep your eyeball right there. Let's get this in and flip. And now we're going to do our double coil. Because, you know, usually when I do the coil knot on this bracelets like this, I leave like extra cord to melt that knot, but not this time because I'll show you in a second. I'll show you the tip. Okay, let's tighten it nice and tight. And let's see, did we get to 2? Perfect. Okay, so what we're going to do here is, let's get the lighter. And, you know, I noticed that one cool thing about this wax cord that's on today's show, it does this one, at least this beige one, see that? It doesn't melt black. That's one thing that kind of drives me nuts. And, you know, honestly, guys, there is no rhyme or reason to why like one synthetic cord burns black and then you get this one that it doesn't. But I cannot, you know what, let's check the pink. Let's see if the pink burns black. Because that, I just thought that was kind of weird. Let's test it. Okay. Let's see if the pink one. Yeah, a little bit. Yep, not too bad. So does it burn? It burns light black. I don't know. Okay, so when you do the end here, I'm gonna fluff this out. And one thing, okay. Here, let me just do this and I'll tell you in a second what I was gonna say. The okay, I'm gonna tap it. You know, if you're not used to like tapping stuff down, I don't want you guys to burn yourself. So maybe use something. But oh, I swear, every time I like say, "Oh, I'm going to do a tutorial," then it's all those little things that I did. So when I do a oh my goodness, I hope this makes sense to you guys. When I do a macrame, like slide knot, the tapping is different. Let me see, because when you make a macrame slide knot, you want to tap it to where it's like flat and round. But when you're doing a coil knot like this, you want to tap it to where it blends in with the knot. Does that make sense? Because if I were just to come in here and just tap it straight down, it would look like just a flat, thing, which wouldn't look too good. So there's like different ways of like tapping. Okay, so I'm gonna like fluff this out, and I'll tell you something about fluffing in a minute that I like learned, and I figured it out. Okay, I'm just gonna let it cool. Blow, 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 cool, cool, and now just do it real fast. See that? It's kind of like a mushroom. It's got kind of like a little mushroomy type thing. Okay, now we are going to put I'm going to do the coil knot because I think most of you know how to do the macrame slide knot, but you know what? I'm just going to do the coil because this one's got a cool, like a couple of cool tips. Let's get this out. And I know I've covered this before, but I'm going to do it again because I think it's cool. So for the coil knot, let's see, I'm going to, since this is pretty thick cord, I'm going to take 8 inches. Let's do 8. Okay, so you got the 8. Now we're going to do the coil. Is that focused? Boop, boop, right there. And in case you missed it, basically what I've done is I've crisscrossed the, can you see that? Is it not focusing? Boop. See, it's crisscrossed and then it's clipped. So I'm going to take my cord. Let me zoom in right there. I think maybe I'm like, okay, that's perfect. And coil. Okay, since this is like really thick, I mean, 99% of the time I use like one of my pegs, but since this cord is so thick, you'll need to like expand it a little bit. Or another thing you could actually do, I think, let's try this. Maybe that'll work. Use 2 pegs. That works. 2. And that's because when you make the coil knot, you need to go, one side needs to go in one way and the other side needs to go in the other. And with the single, whoops. See, I think I did this a little bit too short. Let's see, let's get that side in there. Okay, and then the other side goes the other way. So push it up and get this side through. Okay, perfect. Okay, this is where things get interesting because we need to melt this part and this part into the little balls. However, we do not want any heat whatsoever to get on this part because it will nick it. It'll just do like a weird melt spot and then it's going to destroy your bracelet. So this is the trick. Get the knot, like squeeze it, curl it in your hands, like do whatever you can to get it nice and tight. Okay, twirl it, pull it, oh, and pull on this side. Okay, nice and snug. Okay, I remember a couple of years ago, or like probably like every time I made a knot like this, I always wondered like, do I fluff it or to fluff or not to fluff? When you're doing this, fluff it because it melts faster. And because it melts faster, that means it needs less heat. And less heat means that you're less likely to nick the cord. And I learned about the melting of fluff because I bought a really cool, like fluffy house coat, and it was so soft. And Lauren put it in the dryer on low. And that fluff just like melted, and I thought, God, the heat wasn't even that hot in it. It wasn't so soft anymore. So there, Lauren. But I bought a new one. It's okay. But it's crazy how just even that real fine fluff just it melts so fast and easy. So I'm gonna cut. Let's get in here. I'm gonna cut about. Well, probably about 1/4 of an inch, okay? And now I'm gonna fluff it out as much as I can. And you wanna use, I call it like some kind of like heat protectant. You could use aluminum foil. I've even used like paper, but then again, I'm very careful not to like blow, like catch the house on fire. So I just put this right in here to protect the cord, and I just hold it real lightly. Just like that. See that? So so it's basically like a heat shield. Okay. When you come to do this, you don't want your finger, a flame goes up. So you don't want your finger like up, like where the flame is going to go. So you want to turn this sideways. Let's get this back in here. It probably takes a little bit of practice. Okay, so let's get in here and just... Okay, this one, you don't want to tap it, mold it. You don't want to do anything to it. You just want to melt it. So just let it like cool off. And you're like, ooh, what about the gap? I'm going to show you how the gap, after you've opened and closed it a couple of times, it equalizes the tension, and then that disappears. So let's do this side. I'm just going to wait a couple of more seconds. Because nothing's worse than you make it and then you think it's cold and then you touch it and then it just kind of gets like messed up. Okay, so we're going to do the next one. Let's open this up a bit. Okay. And like, even if you have to get like a pair of pliers to like make it very snug, it's really, really helpful, because you'll be surprised like how much like tightening and how much more tightening you can do even after you think, oh, it's tight enough. Okay, so I'm going to come in here and cut this, fluff it. And if you're new and you don't know a whole lot about stringing materials, I mean, not everything can be fluffed, because like, I mean, fluffed and melted. Let me correct myself, because you could fluff silk, but you can't melt it. So I'm going to put this right in here, my little heat protector, and I'm going to come in here and melt this into a ball. I'm going to just be patient while I wait. Yeah, right, Susanna? I use the side of my lighter. Yeah, you know, I do that. I use the side of my lighter to tap these guys. The macrame slide knots, for sure. Because, you know, I mean, because after a while, there's only like so much your poor little finger can take. Oh, okay, let's see. Let me see if I can see any of the comments. Happy Mother's Day. Oh, you know what, guys? I hope you guys all have a happy Mother's Day. Let's see, touch it. Yeah, 3rd degree burn. Okay, I think it's cooled off. Okay, so let's zoom out and look at our masterpiece. Okay, so it's got good tension. Oh yeah, so once you like kind of go like this, and then you close it, open it, close it, open it. See how those gaps that were like in there, let me see if I can zoom in. They're gone. See that? Ta-ta. So if you're concerned about the gaps, just open and close it a couple of times, and they'll disappear. Oops, let's go back out and put it on. Choo-choo. Ah, perfect. Oh, look at that. Oh, and see, the neat thing about this knot is that it matches with the others. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with the macrame slide knot. I love it. I use it for everything, because I think it was Pat. She said something that stuck with me ever since she said it. She said that there is when it comes to like jewelry, there's the 10-second rule, and you tend to put on what's easy. And I think she's right, because most of the stuff of mine that gets worn, like, even though, you know, I love a lot of the stuff that has like clasps and like chain like that, it's because I don't know why. It's just a thing. So let me see your guys' comments. Let's see. Happy Mother's Day. Oh, and Laura Lee gave me a really good idea. The cowrie shells. She says that you know, they have some cowrie shells on JTV, so I'm going to request those to see if we can make that a cowrie shell bracelet like she made. But maybe like in the next few weeks, we'll give you guys some options, and you get to vote on what products you'd like to see me work with on the show. I mean, don't go to the JTV website and pick out like a, you know, $5,000 like strand of like sapphires. I mean, that ain't gonna happen. But, you know, just because I think it'd be really exciting, because, you know, a lot of times, you know, I get like caught up in what I like, and, you know, but it's always interesting to see, you know, a collective, you know, approach to like, you know, making this kind of jewelry, because I'm always like up for a challenge. Anyway, guys, I think my time, oh no, I've got a minute left. Let me see if there are any questions that I can answer, or let me see if there's anything that I think I might have missed. Now let me go back to the project and see if, yeah, the cowrie shells are really, really nice. Did I miss anything? I don't think so. I think I covered the bracelet, the different knots, and it was pretty easy. and let me just do a little recap. 40 inches of cord in case you are not sure. For insurance purposes, just go 42, and remember, start in the middle and then work out and just keep remeasuring, and then do the coil knot with the fluffy cord. Anyway, thank you for joining my show today. I really appreciate it. I love you guys, and all those moms out there, have a happy Mother's Day, and I will see you guys on next Thursday. Bye.